Greetings, everyone. Hawksblood here. Co-host Tina Bird. I'll let her say hi. Hello, Tina. How are you?
Hello, Tommy. Hello, everybody. I'm Tina Brown here from Southampton in the UK. It's been very mild this time of year, but we're expecting snow by the end of the week. So the temperature dropped the last 2 days. But yeah, here things been fine in the UK until last night. We've had more and more reportings, just quickly in the UK of objects and that. But I'll let Tommy say hello. We'll come to that in a minute.
All right, people. I'm just want to get into something real quick before we get into the UFO topic. And I didn't even ask Tina this question yet. In Hawaii, I just found out 2 days ago. I don't know how it is in every other place, which I want to ask you, Tina, about how they deal with the zoos in your country. Well, here in Hawaii, they injected all the animals, and we lost a white tiger and we lost 3 snow leopards in the past couple months. And I found out all around the United States, a lot of the animals are dying. They all were force injected, which I think I'm not for it, but you're not allowed to talk about it too much. But what I did want to ask you, you were injected, but do you know if they injected your animals yet?
So I can't obviously comment officially on my job or anything like that. Hello, Matthews. Is that Matthews Carols from Northern Wales in the UK? Hello, darling. No, but I can comment on India, and they've had SARS. Is it the A variant? They're suffering severely with the Delta Plus variant over in India. But what is traveling through the country like a steamroller is the A variant, apparently, and that is affecting all of their animals. And they've had quite a few deaths from animals from the A variant in India. I do know that was on one of the newsreels I watched. But the only thing I can comment here in the UK is that we've had avian flu outbreak, avian influenza. And that was in Shropshire, and they've got a 6-mile quarantine radius around that. And it's also until 3 other parts of the country where they have to go and slaughter all the wild birds and any infected birds or animals with the avian flu for a 6-mile radius. I think that was in Shropshire, Lancashire, and I think there's 1 or 2 other parts of the country now that do have avian flu. So I can confirm that has been on the news, and you can look that up. So it is starting to become a real issue here in the UK.
Well, we're dealing with this virus. It's taken most of the people's attention around the world to eliminate all the attention on everything else that's going to be happening, and that is happening. As we know, the UFO world's changing greatly. But for me personally, I'll let Tina tell her side of it, but for me, all these whistleblowers coming out, all these storytellers and all these speakers in the UFO world love to talk. They love to tell stories. They love to guide people to become more aware of lies or stories. But I've been involved with this all my life. Tina's been around most of her life as well, but at a different way than I was. I've proved things to myself. I always did. As far as UFO experiences, I don't believe in it. But abductees, I worked with many of them. Many of them lost children. Many of them know what happened, and a lot of them don't know anything. So I started doing regression and stuff to bring them back into it, which helped a few people. So if anybody out there has experiences, please call in. If you know people that do, please guide them to get help, to understanding what happened and what the situation is. Now, when Tina's going to talk, she's going to talk about what's going on around her right now. I tell her that she's being protected by these aliens. I think she would have died a long time ago, and I'm saying that seriously. But she's going through some stuff that nobody else on this planet has gone through. So I consider that something really, really important, and I'm surprised the government's not jumping all over our show unless they deny to hear my show. And if somebody sent it to them, they refuse to listen to it. But even a few other people I've been trying to get in touch with for months. Not even a reply, not even something stupid. But I know whether it's good or bad, I reply to my emails. I feel it's my obligation to fulfill when somebody has a bad viewpoint or a bad idea, and see where he's really coming from. And people have an excuse for being bad, sad, or things. You have an excuse for hating the government, hating God, because neither one helped you in your situation. So for me, I did my protection. I protected my brother from getting abducted and things like that. I can't blame God for that, and I don't. Uh, and the government, they're just too ignorant to get involved with it, or they just so afraid to, and they won't. But Tina, I'll let you go in on that.
Well, hello, people. Hello, guys. Well, in the UK, this last few weeks, there's been lots of sightings and reportings, not only here in the UK, around the world, around volcanic activity, and lots of things, UFOs, UAFOs, everything really. And there's been some shrieks across the skies. Well, here in Southampton in the UK, there has been some activity. Yesterday and the day before, I thought a really bright star in the sky. It didn't seem to move with the other stars. It just stayed where it was and the other stars moved. Anyway, I came home from work, parked up, and literally as I parked up, this bright star fell from the sky, stopped. It must have been there about 25 minutes, and this thing just shot out and kind of zigzagged. Broad daylight, Tammy. I whipped my phone out. First chance my phone's actually had charge on it when something like that's happened. Whipped my phone out, took a picture of the street, and I zoomed in. So I've taken 2 pictures, and I'll show you now. I sent it to Tommy, who is now going to share it on Skype. This is an amazing capture for me, because instead of just standing there and looking at it, I actually thought to use my phone. I just was in awe of it. So there's the actual picture. And there is the actual picture zoomed in. There it is, guys. That's in my street in Southampton in the UK yesterday evening when I came home from work. So don't know what to say to that. A few of my other neighbours saw it, which is a good thing. And I keep telling people, go out. They're there. They hide during the day in the light. They're there all the time. And I was amazed. I actually managed to get a capture. I dropped my work bag and I like running through, got my phone out and snapped a couple of pictures. So that was quite an exciting day for me. But to follow on from that, I've been quite tired lately, but I've been watching some late night news. And yesterday, Jeremy Corbell caught my attention. So let me get this right. I think it was Fox News. So I do apologize if it wasn't. I think it was Fox News yesterday. Had a segment. And I want to see if I can get this right, because I don't know too much about American Congress and MPs and senators and things. But a New York senator yesterday put forward legislation to probe UFOs, and the content of it is to find origin and intent of UFOs, and it's going to be called the Origin Committee something of investigation of UFOs. So it's actually going to go forwards and happen. This was yesterday, and it's got another long drawn out name as well. It's got 2 kind of names, one of the legislation or bill, and then one of what it's actually going to be. So that was pushed through yesterday, which is a great forward motion really for UFOs, because not only does it signify that they're real, which everybody knows they're real, they're trying now to get to the point of origin, where these things come from. Is it the same people? Is it many different species? Who built them? What is their intent of coming here, etc. So, which is huge in the UFO news. I would have thought this would have been page 1 news across the world. And I've turned on UK channels, nothing. I had to get onto an American channel to find that out. So it's crazy. It's world news. It should be on every single world news channel. And it's not. I don't know what's going on between different countries, but when a country says yes, they recognize it, this has happened. There's more than enough millions of files, copies, pictures, photos, videos, not just from modern day, but going back from the 40s, 30s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 1800s. So they have all this documented. They obviously have craft, but now they're saying they want to know the origin of these beings and their intent. So that's a huge step forward. Should be, and it is quite rightly so, world news, but it's sadly not being publicised across world TV. So that was yesterday. The other thing was volcanic eruptions. Now, I don't know a lot about geology and geography. Obviously went to school like everybody else. But it's my understanding we have the Ring of Fire, and volcanic eruptions happen as part of matter of course. And we are part of a heavenly body which revolves around the sun, and we have the moon. But I was taught in school, if a bigger heavenly body approached us.
So I got the prescription ready.
So if a bigger heavenly body approached us, we would have not a wobble, but it would start our volcanic eruptions up. So if I'm wrong, could someone please tell me? Because I know what happens naturally every few thousand years, volcanic eruptions and etc. But if a heavenly body is coming close, we're saying asteroid, huge meteor, or another planet, or something else coming towards us, then that would affect our Earth's mantle or core or our tectonic plates, causing eruptions. Now, it's just not one or two, but we have every significant volcano going off at the moment, which tells me there's something probably a bit more going on than the government's allowing or telling us what is exactly going on. What that is, I have no idea. But again, that is world news. They're going off in every, country and island. They're going off in Italy. They're going off in Iceland. I know they do go off every day, but these are becoming very severe. And the Cumbria area is in the off the coast of, I think it's Spanish island. La Palma. So, these things need to be looked at a bit more. But, excuse me, getting back to the UFO subject, I don't see any other country, apart from the Americans, advertising this, that they're actually opening up again. I know they have Blue Book, but this is an actual legislation. It's not going to be like an investigation, and that's it. It's actually going to be an investigation, legislation probe into UFOs. So they actually have something in writing, and it's going to be legislation to be looked at in the future. So I know we have is it MI16 or MI6 that looked into these things before, like an English version of Blue Book, which was closed. I don't think the public could apply. I don't even still today you can't apply to a government body to say about UFOs, I don't think, here in the UK. So and I don't hear nothing from New Zealand, Africa, other parts of the world, and islands as well. There's because these things are seen off islands in volcanic movement. So even though people are taking them for granted, I don't see any governments coming forward specifically to say we have logs that we've passed legislation for us to investigate this or pass knowledge on UFO information sharing across the world. So it would be interesting to find out. I'm glad they're coming forward with this. This is a significant step forward. Whether they're just looking at military cases and sightings, I don't know. But Tommy, you're still on mute. So I'm going to wait till Tommy takes his phone off. There you go. Unfortunately, Tommy still has his microphone on mute. There you go.
All right. The problem is when they came out a couple of years ago with the Navy saying they're going to ask everybody to send them their UFO information, nothing gets done to the public about it. We don't know what they do with it, what happens with it, what it means to them really. So unless they plan on helping us with what's happening, which I don't see happening anytime soon, it's not beneficial that now they're going to say they're going to do all this investigation. They know what they're talking about. How do you have two people, it's like Democrats and Republicans, two separate parties talking about something, and neither one of them has the truth. All right. And then all of a sudden, one party gets the truth, and they won't give it to the other party. So the government knows what alien ships are here for. They know what aliens are doing here. So when they say we're going to try to find out what that reason is, they're trying to think how they would explain it to the American people if they do. That's all it means. Whether they will or not is a different story, and they probably will not. American people are afraid of too many things right now. So if they threw that on them as well, there is no protection. Teen is the first actual example of that, showing no matter what you do, where you are, who you're with, you still can get abducted. And nobody can do anything about it. And it's not everybody. And it's people say, well, it has to be certain spiritual people or certain this. No, it's not either.
Everyday run-of-the-mill people.
It's normal people. I was involved with a friend who was involved with 128 doctors. All of them were abducted. And they're all trying to piece it together, what it means, what it did to them, what happened in their lives after it happened. So it's like a lot of big name people or bigger name people can't risk losing their career because they said something really stupid to most people's ideas of what's real and what's not. Personally, I'm against people talking about stories that they didn't experience. I know Tina's viewpoint's a little different. She's friends with some of the UFO people. I'm not friends with any of them anymore. To me, they're all two-faced liars, and they don't understand what's going on. And they pretend they do, even though they don't. In the UFO world, if you want to be a speaker about UFOs, you have to have seen one. And you should be near enough to know that it's a UFO and not just a figment of your imagination, a part of your dream, but to know it's real. And that's the starting point. Then, do you have witnesses? Do you have people around you and all the other things that go along with making it and confirming it that it's real? Most people get out of bed, have a bad experience, bad dream, and say it's all real. They don't know the difference. And it's easy to program somebody when they're asleep. All right. So for me, mine started when I was 6 years old, and I was totally aware. I wasn't into drugs or nothing. And I saw my first UFO come up to try to abduct my brother. I did things, I don't know why. I just did things naturally, and it seemed to help and solve the situation. But when you go against what you feel, not what you're programmed to believe, because programs are not real. If somebody says ice cream is good and you have to eat ice cream, and you go, oh, ice cream is good, it's a program. But if you eat ice cream and you taste it, wow, this is really good, it's a different story. So without the experience of whatever you're talking about is total nonsense. When these people tell stories, they actually make you believe they were in it. Oh, well, then this came down. Oh, man. Really? Really? No, it's true time now. We're going through so much stuff. And I tell people it's time to find the truth, what it is for you. And it's different for everybody. But some of it stays the same. We are being attacked or visited by aliens. They have been here a long time. And they don't care about U.S. or government or Germany, England, France. They don't care about countries, and they don't care about politics.
I don't think they care much of human beings, but they
No,
take
they don't
us.
care about us as well, but they do use us.
Yeah.
And they do need us for their own gameplay that they do. But, I'm a teenager. Tina, you want to just talk about it a little, about your experience? Because some people are new or might not have listened to this show ever. But I'm dealing with what she said. One Tina is one of the most important people in the UFO world as far as an abductee. She has more actual proof, more evidence, more witnesses than anybody else in the UFO world that I know that have a publicly great story going on out there. Sure, two come out, well, in 1940, this happened to us. So what? You got proof? Who was there? Who knew it was real? All right, I'm going to put Tina back on.
So it's a lifelong story, so obviously you can't fit it in this segment of the show. But to touch base, I mean, the first thing I'm going to say is people who say they want to be abducted must be crazy. I don't know why people would say that. And these experiences, and that word just gets me, or abductees, are two different things, completely different things. And for people who say that they've been abducted, it's traumatic. It sticks with you. It's very clear. You can remember things, and sometimes it can fade around the edges, but it's very clear. It's like imprinted in your brain. And we're people that happens to. We're nothing special. We're just everyday people. It happens when you're younger. It can happen when you're older. For me, it's something that's come and gone throughout my whole life. When you're younger, you're not quite sure what's going on or what's happening. And when you're older, you realize it's not normal. And these beings or people or whatever you want to call them, they're not like us. When you're smaller, they're small. But when you're an adult, you can see that they're small. So, and I don't know why they keep calling them grey. People take mickey if you see the green. They're not. The ones that I've encountered are like a bright white glowing beings. So people call them greys. I'm not quite sure. Perhaps it's the light that they see them in, but the ones I've seen have always been glowing white. And so for me, it's all I don't know really where to start. I mean, being taken is nothing anyone really wants to talk about, but over years you have so much loss, and you see things happen and you experience things that happen to you. But when you're awake on a counter or a top or whatever, you're on a table and you remember laying there, and you're fearing for your life. You can't move, you can't think, you're there, and all you can see is literally it's like a car crash happening in front of you. You're helpless, you cannot do nothing, you don't know, you can't breathe, sometimes you can't feel anything, you're looking, you're unable to move. So all these pictures say, why didn't you get pictures, why didn't you get evidence, and why didn't you ask this? You cannot move. So I was unfortunate. People say I'm lucky, but I was unfortunate to be awake during a few times actually that I was taken. And yeah, it is very traumatic. And to see something performing like a surgery on you while you're awake and you're there, it's awful. And then to lay there to think that you are going to die, there's nothing, you're completely at their mercy, you're completely helpless, and they either choose to let you go or they don't. So so there is the other side to it. So there are millions of people like me. I'm not the only one. There are millions of people like me that should be listened to. You get genuine people, and then you get people that just make stuff up, or they are true believers, or they are attention seekers, or they are experiences. Some people are genuine experiences. I don't know quite sure what they mean by their experiences. Everyone has different experiences in their life. It's what you make of it. When you're abducted, something comes into your home against your will, covertly, while you're asleep or while you're in your bed, when you're vulnerable. The government's not protecting you, the local police aren't protecting you, environment agency aren't protecting you, nobody is protecting you, nobody is on your side, and you're there and you're vulnerable, and these beings come into your home, they intrude in your personal space, take you when you're vulnerable, when you're asleep, and take you on board their craft, subject you to different states of they subdue you with different frequencies, a light and a pheromone. And I don't think you're supposed to remember. I don't think I'm supposed to remember one bit. I'm not sure if I'm I don't know, used to the light, or I'm allergic to it, or I don't know. Perhaps it doesn't work on me, or perhaps it does. I don't know. But I've seen hundreds of people up there. I've seen hundreds of people up there. I'm not the only one. I've seen hundreds of people all up there awake, but they're asleep. They're frozen, unable to move. I've seen hundreds of them. So I know I'm not the only one. But I think I was unfortunate to remember or be awake, and Just going to read a comment in the comments box, people. Don't know who that is. Never heard of that. I mean, what are friendly aliens? So I know for me, I think because I've been horrified and traumatized, and once you see something up close in the eyes looking at you and you think you're going to die, that kind of sticks with you. There's no two ways. It's like being face to face with like something that's going to kill you, and you can look in its eyes. So that, you know, what is that could be very friendly alien. So could anyone tell me what a friendly alien is, what they look like and what they do? So a friendly alien in my book is something that would come to the planet, make itself known, obviously watched our social interactions, obviously more intelligent than us if they can source material to come through different time, space, matter, and etc. They would come here, we come in peace kind of thing. We'd like to be your friends. We can help you. You can help us. We're here. They would make themselves known. Would they come into your bedroom at night and take you against your will? That's covertly. That's covert abduction. That is not something that's friendly. Do they take you against your will? That is not also friendly. That's not protection. That does not make you feel safe. They subject you to operations where you're awake. Well, last I checked, there's a convention against that. I believe there is some convention against torture in across the world. So you're talking about a species that works with other species, that covertly comes to our planet, that takes human subjects and operates them, mutilates them, takes their unborn children, cut pieces out of them while you're there watching them. So if that's a friendly alien, I'd hate to meet a hostile one. So yeah, again, I've never seen or heard of a friendly alien. Yeah, I've never heard of a friendly alien. That has got me quite stumped, because the only stories or accounts that I've heard of abduction, you know, I met a male abductee a few years ago, and he was showing a little girl he had. He was visited by, and a great account, a very in-depth account, happened over many years. And she was like taken and couldn't stay long, couldn't have time with him. So the children or beings they're making from us are also feel threatened by these beings that have made them or cloned them or reproduced them. So that doesn't seem very friendly to me either. So I don't know how you would classify. Tommy, help me out here. How would you classify a friendly being? Would you classify any? I don't classify anything that comes into my home. You know, if they want to meet you, then fair enough. But to take children from their home, safe environment, from their parents, to burn their legs with lights and perform experiments is not friendly in my book. So I'm not slating all of them. I don't know about other beings. I can only tell you about my account, my experiences, and the beings that I've seen. This is what's happened to me. You know, and when I was aboard there at Crafts, they subdue you. I was only allowed to walk around, I remember, maybe once or twice. And that's after many, many years. And I was heavily sedated, and they were controlling me somehow from behind. And so they don't trust us. They're not like us. People don't understand that. So they don't have the feelings we do. They have a brain, but it's different to ours. They communicate differently to us. So yeah, they don't have from what I can gather inside their link, they're black inside. We're a mixture of impulse, motion, and behaviors. They don't like our behavior. They don't understand our emotion. They see it as hostility. So because they don't understand it, they have to be wary. But then if you're going to poke a bee's nest and prod a bee's nest, you will see that bees would interpret that as a hostile act. They wouldn't interpret that as a friendly act. So there's lots of different things going on there. I couldn't tell you anything about the moon, but I have seen other planets, and I've been in craft. So all these people paying millions of pounds to go in space, you've probably been abducted and you wasted your money. You probably didn't even need to go. But sorry to put doom and gloom on it, but it's when people say they are friendly aliens, they probably are. I'm not discounting that. I'm just telling you my side of the story, my account, and what I've seen and what I've understood. So there are many other things. There's things we don't understand about death, after death experiences. We don't understand enough about the death process, about our souls, what happens after death, the afterlife. There are things that they don't even know. They can't make, so they may be technologically advanced, but there's still a lot they don't understand about the human body. They can't make biological human embryonic fluid to the same standard or levels as human. I don't know what that means, but that's what I found out when I was in their link. I found out lots of other things in their links, in their Wi-Fi link when you're in that. So, and then this is not the only planet they're subjecting this to. They travel to many planets across the whole of our universal galaxy, or however when you look at it. And anyone that's ever been taken or had a link with them will be in their link. So one day when these people do make contact, or what people classify as contact, this is contact. Any way you want to look at abduction is contact. How can you say it's not contact? It is contact when someone chooses to take you from your environment. They want something from you. To do that, they have to make contact to take you. So, but when it comes out, and anyone who's like me or has been in their link is connected to their link. So once you've been in their link, and they have different links and different ships, different types of Wi-Fi, if you like. If you've been in there before, you've been there again, and they can, once you're in their link, they know that you're listening. They know that it's like a two-way mirror. They know that you're listening in their link. And I thought it looked like rows of TV screens, or like cartoon, like televisions or scripts all along the walls. And when they focus on it, it was it's like a vision or a picture, and you zoom in, it's like they put you in a bubble and put you in it, and I was in it. It's a memory in their link, and it goes back and forwards. And they were showing me what had happened before and what had happened to this or our planet, the one that they imploded or exploded, whatever. When you look at it, there's something they did underwater near a volcano. So they're attracted to volcanic action, and they're obviously very old. They live for a long time. They choose to be in their bodies. That is not their natural form. I understand that they do choose to be in those bodies. So they are probably explorers, and they're probably after many different things. But if they were after contacting, like, hello, we are from whatever planet, we'd like to be friends with you. That's what I call a friendly alien. Obviously, they don't know how we're going to take it, but you do something along those lines. No, so, so, I mean, there is a convention about abduction. So if a force, any force in any country came along and said that, if I said to the world, a man in a military uniform took me, held me at gunpoint, tortured me, and then put me back, I'd have every country in the world wanting action, justification, recognition. They would be investigating it. What country did this? What soldiers did this? Who's going to stand trial for this? This is crimes against humanity. Bang, we'll have them in court. Nothing has been looked at on the safety aspect of these things coming impeded into our airspace, into our homes, in our own country, taking you and your children, or just your children, against your will. What is so friendly about that? As far as I can see, nothing. So yeah, there's a lot to abduction, not just, oh hey, I've been abducted and I got this and they were friendly aliens and they showed me this. I can't say that did not happen to me. I feared for my life. I didn't understand what was going on. Yes, I've been there linked when they wanted to, when I was being treated like a lab experiment then, and I mistakenly somehow found some information out that they didn't want me to know, or they didn't know how I got, and they weren't too pleased at that, and they all rushed in there one go turning everything over inside your brain to look at how you knew that. I don't know how I knew that piece of information. I just knew it. I don't know how. Can't explain it. I did not know how. It was not a pleasant experience. So I can't say. The only positive thing I can say is that they put me back after. I mean, I got the feelings that the little ones, I say little ones, the shorter ones, when they had this thing on my tummy and on my chest, they did something wrong, and they were showing me. And the one or to my right, the taller one that knew what was, he realised I think I was awake, and I stopped seeing out of my eyes because I was like at a 45-degree angle, and I could see them. I could see, like, I was laid down a bit more. I could see this thing on my tummy, and then next thing I know, it was bright white light. It was in my chest, and he'd realised that I was awake, and everything. He was speaking to me in a separate link to the others, and when he stopped speaking to me in the link, I was looking at my eyes again, but blood was coming out of my chest, and it hit one of these little ones, which was freaking out, and the taller one stopped me from seeing him freaking out, because once you're in the link, you can see everything they're doing. Everything they're thinking about is in this link. So they have he has a link to the little ones. The little ones have a limited link, and the taller one can link to everything in the craft they're on. So I was in the taller one's link, and when they're close to me, when they're very close to me, I can link with up to like 8 or at the distance. If they're like closer distance, the more closer they are, the easier it is to link. But the further away, but when there's like up to 30 of them in the same area as you, it's like a haze, and it's just you lose. It goes so fast, and it's crazy. But and you can get in different links, but in different craft there are different links, like different tastes. It's like different smells of perfume. You recognise the scent in your head, and they're different ones, and they're subtle differences as well. So you get to know that. But yeah, there's lots of different things, sides to abduction, small things people remember later on, or small things that just stay with you all the time, that don't leave you. But this little creature was very dark inside. His glowing white being, but his thoughts, he was like black inside. There's nothing, no emotion or nothing. He would have been quite happy to be. He didn't want to fix me. He damn sure he was quite happy to let me die, move on to another subject. But the one next to me knew I was awake. And they kind of, I think he made them fix me. So that's the only positive thing I can say. He made them fix me, or patch up their mistake, or whatever they want. I probably wasn't meant to die, but there you go. I wasn't probably meant to have so much material taken out. And the consequence of that is when I had my hysterectomy, after I had many different types of female operations to sort things out over my lifetime, and my pelvis is completely obliterated with tiny needle marks from left to right, completely obliterated, and that's on one of my medical reports. So I don't think that's very friendly, very helpful, very nice, not very positive experience. So hopefully a lot of people can understand where I'm coming from. I don't necessarily hate them, but it's not my intention to ever meet them again. I don't control that. But people should realise that they're not all bright white hair, fairy, what people will claim to be friendly. Tommy. So when Tommy pops back in a second, just got some tea, everybody. Oh, there's no sugar in that. Sorry, my partner's made me a cup of tea and there's no sugar in it. Hello, John. So John's come back onto the show. Happy holidays, because it's a month tomorrow. Is Christmas Eve, isn't it? It's the 23rd today, so it'll be a month today. It'll be the day before Christmas Eve. So yes, and you guys in America have oh God, what is it in November? You celebrate Thanksgiving, don't you? You have Thanksgiving in November, and then it carries on through like a celebration to Christmas. Is that right? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that works. But yeah, happy holidays to you. Yeah, so if anyone has any comments of anything I've just said, I'll be happy to explain more or answer those questions for you. He might have met very friendly people. I don't doubt that. And you can't tar the brush of like a whole race of people because of the acts of what others in their race have done. But if they've been given orders by their government or their superiors or their council to do this, then they're not very friendly people or very ethical people. But on the other hand of that, I can see a scientific value to it, that we are sentient beings. We do have emotions, so they must surely take that into account. We're biological entities ourselves because we reproduce. We're self-reproducing entities. So we obviously can do something that they cannot, or they're better with us. So to make clones and take our children and biological samples of us to make other biological entities and samples, hybrids, crossbreeding, what have you want it, they showed me, then so be it. They do answer some questions, but it's not like, well, you're taken, it's like they freeze everything. You don't know that you're frozen. You can only see. Your brain doesn't work quite. If you get a millisecond, which is very rare, it's the last thing on your mind. It's like you're trying to defrost your brain. Nothing works. But when you're in their link, your body does not need to work, and your brain is the same. It's inside out. It's separate, but and you get to see things inadvertently because you're stumbling and it's like being chucked in a river. You don't know where you're going. So yeah, it's a bit like that. So I have no questions from Tommy or anybody else at the moment, so I'll just continue to talk till Tommy comes back. So for me, that's what abduction encounters are. And many other people probably do have similar experiences. I mean, I went away on holiday a few years ago with a friend of mine and her daughter. So my book is coming out soon. Obviously, people say, oh, you're only in it for the money and things like that. I haven't made money over the years. The only reason I contacted anybody was because of deteriorating health at the time of myself and my partner. After a abduction event, me and my partner became seriously ill. And that's another side effect people don't take into account. We're lucky enough to be in England and get emergency medical treatment and treatment for ulcers and things that have been gone on inside your body. I had like a cut and an ulcer, exactly the same depth inside my body as my partner did from that evening. And we both became very ill, and other things, and tests showed lots of different other things. But imagine being in a poorer country that you have no access to health for, and you're feeling sick and you're vomiting blood and your stomach hurts and you feel dizzy. You're losing teeth and hair and nails and you don't know what's up with you and you feel awful. Those people can't even get access to painkillers, pain relief, let alone tests to find out what's wrong with them after one of these so-called friendly abduction experiences. So there's a lot of people to take on board. I'm just lucky enough to live in a country where I can speak out. People may not like it, I don't care, but there's people out there that do suffer in silence because they can't afford phones, they can't afford the internet, they can't afford medication, they can't afford tests. So it's those other people that I do, and I've seen people up there. I've seen hundreds of people up there. So there's another like kind of different angles to being that. But my book, there's a cover picture. It's under license, guys. It's coming out hopefully soon. See, I do suffer from dyslexia, but also, I work a lot as well. And losing my pet, as you all know, my beloved dog, I was absolutely devastated. My dog passed away recently. I've had him many, many years, and he was my baby, and it really affected me. It was quite sudden. So that put a lot of things on hold. I've had some family issues. One of my family members has been quite ill as well. So that takes another toll on you. And I've not been that great since. So when you're back on form. But it is coming I'm hoping to be this year. I wanted it to be before the 1st of December. I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm hoping it's going to be out for Christmas, if not New Year, maybe in January, the latest. I'm just rounding up a few little things on there. It's what do I put in? What do I don't want to put in? I'll try to put everything in, literally. I don't want to bias people. So literally against it. I'll just literally give him my account of what has happened to me. And if I've given an opinion, I've said this is my thought. So not to skew the answer or what's going on. And I've tried to put my book in from when I was a child, things that have happened, whether like the face tonight with the beam of light coming down in my house, things like that, and up to modern times. So it's a complete, there's if I've left things out, I do apologize. It's just things that have come to me at the time or stopped writing. So I've managed to put it in there. So I'm lucky I have access to put it out. But that's hopefully it's coming out soon. It's going to be called The Bonded, The Truth About Alien Abduction. And the reason it's called The Bonded is because when I was on board this craft, and the first time I think they allowed me to walk about, because I don't have a memory of them. This is the first time I remember being able to walk about. I've got a sip of my tea, sorry. And I felt heavily sedated. I could taste the bitterness in my chest. And they allowed me to walk over. It was definitely, there was quite a lot of these beings there, but beside me, quite a few, more than I probably could see or count. They're just out my sight, but you could feel them. You could see a couple at first, but they're just to my right, out of my way. And the one that knows me, I don't know a name, never been given a name, don't know what it is. I can't see any sex organs on it. I just, when it talks to me, I just know it as the one that knows me. And I think I've known it for a long time, and don't have a name for it. And but it controls the link I'm in. When he's directly next to me or very close to me, I automatically jump to like a telephone call. It's like I automatically jump into his link, or he bonds or links with me. And then all the others can link to him in a separate link. So I either don't get overwhelmed, but when I'm in the big link, they don't like me. I'll receive this information, but I couldn't tell you what it is. It goes so quick. So being in the link, the information is passed so quickly. But when they took me to see these pods, I put my hand on it, and I was in my own link, separate from theirs. I jumped from my own link to a link with all these babies and all these pods, and they turned out to be female clones of me. They were only breeding females, and they freaked when I knew. They did not know how I knew that they were females. So that's why they wanted me later on, after when they yanked me back on this counter, when they brought this baby hybrid thing over to me, they wanted me to know, she wanted to meet me, to have a link, a bonded link. You're right there, Tommy.
I'm going through some things right now, but what I did want to ask you while you're going through that, I'm thinking about the times that you had, as far as you can remember, all the times you've been abducted. When you come back and you're going through the experience, do you have any like total awareness of what's really going on as far as how it affects you? Because I know I listened to you, we've been doing this a long time, and the average person never will go through this. Hopefully they won't either. But the people that listen to us and listen to you, they still have, the one that just wrote in our comments just recently, they still want to be abducted. They want to travel on a ship. I don't know. I don't see how people could feel okay with that. And think about what would happen if I was there. I feel protected in a lot of ways, and that's why I feel I never was. I was close to aliens. I was close to many ships. But for you, like what you just shot a picture of, to me, it doesn't mean anything other than they are watching you. They have been keeping an eye on you. I remember the last time I said, do this, and you did, and then they were over your house again.
I'm not doing that again. That was pretty scary. That is scary. Scary thought. What does, that, but all I can say is, I've had a few scary times there. And what is the most dramatic time actually happened in my bedroom is when I woke up, when they put me back, and this thing was in my room, literally it's 2 feet from me. I couldn't move, and my partner was gone, and there was this blue-green light in the wall, and this white being but it was a different one. It was different to the others that had taken me, but it was a white glowing being still, and it leant forward. It was a weird movement, different angle, and I just caught the back of its head, and it was no taller than the end of my bedpost, and it bent forward, and it didn't want to link with me, and it realised I was awake, and obviously I was monitoring because my eyes popped forward, they're bulging forward, and the most scariest thing actually was when I blacked out. When I woke up, I was still in the same position. I was like in this position, fetal position on my side, facing that side of the wall. Was the scariest. My heart was in my mouth because I looked at my partner. He was sat up like that, and that glaze looked, and when I just like kind of tried to move, I moved, and then I realised everything I'd seen the night before was like imprinted in my head, and first words out of his mouth was, "My throat hurts. I don't feel well." And my throat hurt too. Obviously, seeing what had happened, and then within a week we were both very ill. Within a month, we were both severely ill. I was vomiting blood. It was quite dramatic. My partner suffered severe weight loss. We both did. We were both ill. Terrible pain in my stomach. Very scary time. And it turned out we had this scarring in Mark's ulcer, unexplained ulcers, technical ulcers in the same place within our body, same distance in. So that's just one, thing. So people don't seem to think, and they're naked because they don't. I've never seen an alien wear clothes. It's like you imagine a little kid running around with that nappy on. It's a bit like that. They don't have. They don't probably need clothing. I've never seen anywhere. I've seen them put. I've been in. When I've been on one of their bed things, table, bench, whatever. I did rag on me a couple of times. It's not been my clothing. I couldn't tell you what it looked like or what it felt like. I couldn't feel anything. It's just this rag. 90% of the time, 95% of the time, I've just been naked and they've had lights on, burning holes in my legs with this, grid with this orange light. But apart from that, I couldn't tell you. But yeah, I do remember. It's like either you get experience like being thrown back on your bed and you wake up and you're like, or other times you wake up and like you don't move, but you wake up and you're like, your body moves, and then you're like, oh, and it wasn't. And then you start coming around a bit, and then you realise what you've seen is happened, or you wake up straight away with a memory, or it takes a couple of minutes and you realise this has happened. So it's like being you remember being hit by a car and then waking up in hospital. You don't remember getting out of the car. You don't remember being taken to the hospital. You don't remember having surgery, but you wake up and you've had all these things done. That's exactly how it is.
Well, what I wanted to ask you, Tina, as you saw the question in the chat room,
Yeah.
Right. You check them out, but I don't know if they're really serious questions or not. But for me, they say, why are aliens naked? Basically, if you don't believe in the story of Adam and Eve, we probably would have never been wearing clothes if you believe the story was real. But as far as aliens, like say they do populate Mars, and there's a bunch of bases there and stuff. You think they got food stores and clothes stores making clothes and things up there for them? And second of all, why do we really need clothes? If your body's a use to many things as far as the weather.
That questions Darwinism as well. It was a selection of the fittest, survival of the fittest. So why, if we did come from apes, I'm O rhesus negative, so I didn't come from an ape. So if human beings, evolved from apes, why would you shed every hair on your body to kill another ape to put clothes on your back to keep yourself warm? That's biologically evolution step doesn't make sense, and wouldn't really happen. You wouldn't get a grizzly bear shave itself and then go out and kill another grizzly bear and put its fur coat on. Nature gives it a coat to keep itself warm. Nature gives dolphins indigenous layer of fat to keep warm. So there's a reason why we wear clothes. But that's neither here nor there. That's not for me to say. I'm not a scientist. But I think they need to be looking at other aspects, Tommy.
Well,
Before we go, should we have a look at the Geiger counters?
You can bring it out and get it ready. I just want to say, again, we do this with the Geiger counters every week to prove and show what's going on that is not provable. And it's not something that people are aware of. So as far as what's going on with their body and around them. So let Tina take it out. I got one too. And
Tommy advised me one day, I thought he was joking, to get a Geiger counter. So I went onto Amazon, bought a Geiger counter. It's 20, I think about 20 English pounds, less than that, I want to say. That's the model and make I have. There you go. That's the one there. And Tommy has the identical one. Got it on Amazon. So just press the red button there to turn it on. So sorry about the lighting holding it up. So at the top, you'll see is a volts per meter. That's the electrical magnetic field. And the bottoms there is, you can see, is micro Teslas for radiation, Geiger counter, guys. Yeah, we are born naked and we die naked as well. So I like to think we do. So I'm holding mine up to my TV at the moment. Oh, it's going off. Oh, did you see that? Oh, went to 16 for some reason. Electrical magnetic field then. So Tommy's goes off when he holds it to his screen because I have a new screen and new computer and it doesn't give off electrical magnetic field. So it doesn't give off a dangerous or harmful rays or electrical magnetic field. Tommy's does because his computer is different from mine. But when you hold it to the human body, you should not get radiation. If you do, you can get nominal radiation from background radiation up there. See that? It could be because I've just got my Christmas lights up. I don't know. And Tommy's reading 33 to 25 at the moment.
Around mine goes up to 180.
Yeah, that's not good. So when it beeps or flashes red, it means you're in a dangerous zone. Don't forget, once you get zapped by this, it stays with it all your life. You don't get rid of radiation like that. So that's mine. And so I'm going to give it a go. So some weeks it buzzes like mad. Some weeks it doesn't get anything. I can't even see on there. I can't see. Oh, there you go. Let's give this a go up this side. Oh, there you go. 5, 7. So my bottom one there, as you can see, is 4, 5. So nothing there. 1 there. 5. Only 3 this week. It normally reads 23, 25, 35. And sometimes it beats like mad. And absolutely nothing this side. So I don't understand how you can get radiation, 1 there, on one side of your face and neck and head, and nothing the other side.
Go down to your heart again.
Nothing today. Absolutely nothing. Check my armpit. Nothing.
See, she has it in those spots at different times. Again, radiation doesn't move around in your body. It's not coming and going, and it would affect your whole body if it was there. It would be permanent. It wouldn't be going up and down in a matter of seconds.
Oh, there you go.
Well, it's not really bad, but sometimes it's incredibly high for Tina. I do it to make sure that people can see something they're not going to see anywhere else and not going to hear anybody talk about it. And I can only say this. One of my friends died because they were next to a telephone tower. But they never admitted how she died or could come up with a reason why she did. And I mean, some company came out and said that there's no radiation coming from that tower or nothing that could bother the body. But they don't tell us the truth. Nobody will. But back to the story about people speaking in the UFO world. Truth needs to come out, and we need to bring it out the best we can. I mean, whistleblowers come out. Why do they come out so much later? If it was the most important thing on the planet, which it is, why not come out and prove it during that time frame? making people realize that it's true. But,
I think a lot of people can't come forward. Like if they're like whistleblowers, like someone suggested earlier, then perhaps it's part of their contract. If they work for the government, perhaps they have, they have to sign different contracts and that. Oh, it's like me. I didn't really want to come forward. It's only the fact that I was seeking help and I wanted help. It was a severe issue at the time that I even came forward. So I can understand why people don't come forward. But Tommy, anything else to round the show up before we go?
No, I'm going to give it to Tina a couple minutes to speak before she leaves the show about her books and stuff. So, hello, Tina. I'll let you go on with that. Tell everybody. Sorry about that.
Hi guys. So I am hopefully releasing before Christmas my book. It's called Bonded: The Truth About Alien Abduction by T.A. Bird. That's me. I have 2 other books out, but I'm going to have them re-edited and that there because they're not my dyslexia is quite bad. But so I'm having my book released. It will have pictures in. It will have photographs in of my injuries, my neck injuries, and that. It will have pictures of my drawings. All my drawings I did for my investigator. My case was investigated here in the UK by the chairman of BUFOG and is it ICAR or ISAR, the new government body or body that's come out, or a world governing body for looking into abduction and things like that. So it was in 4 issues of the UFO Truth magazine as well in the UK, and I've had quite a few lectures done about my account as well. So, but my own account with my lead investigators page, he's contributed to it as well to tell you about my case. That was also be included in my book. So, yeah. That's all I can say, guys. Please tune in next week. I'm away this weekend. I'm going away with my mum, so hopefully I'm going to have a good weekend. If I see anything in a different part of the country, I will be looking out to see if I can see other objects in the sky closer to the middle of the country, because that's where I'm going. And because we're down south here, I'm right next to the water's edge in Southampton. You can see the Isle of Wight not far from where I live. So, yeah. So hopefully I'm going to go to the middle of the country and see if I can see more UFOs. Please, people, don't take my word for it. Just go outside or look out the window and just look up. That's all you've got to do. You haven't got to be an astronomer. You know when something's not supposed to be there. You know if it's a plane. You know if it's not a balloon, because these things are huge. They flash and they're quick and they hover. They're not drones. You can tell. And the size of these things are absolutely phenomenal. But with that, Tommy, over to you. If anyone wishes to come on the show, please message Tommy or email Tommy. He's been going through it recently. Best wishes to Tommy and his family.
Well, thank you again, Tina. Thank you for your stories and that are real and important stuff. So till next time, Tina.
Till next time. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that was Tina Bird. There's a lot going on. I mean, I'm going through a lot with my partner being really disabled and sick. What happened to her? I've been up half of the night, every night, working, doing things. It's really hard. When people get sick, we were talking about it just today, about how the government wants you sick and they want you to get more sick as you get sick. Why do they send you to more doctors and give you more medicines? And it's not supposedly or really helping you. It's really taken away from who you are. But getting back to the story here. Tina is one person I don't mind doing a show with because she has the proof, she has the witnesses. But for me, in the UFO world, which was the title of the show, is all these other people. I challenge them every day. I say, come on my show. I'll come on yours. We'll do it publicly. We'll do it offline. But not one of them has the balls to face themselves and admit or debate or even try to debate or defend themselves. And to me, that only means one thing. You're afraid. Afraid that your truth isn't real, or afraid that it's not important. You're afraid of a lot of things. And people, we don't need to be afraid of anything right now. Except what I say, the only one thing you're supposed to be afraid of is not aliens, not creatures, not entities. God created us and He could take us away anytime, permanently. It allows us to do what we do. And For me personally, it was a great thing. I experienced all my lives, know why I'm here and all that. But for people that don't have that experience, don't stop and don't rely on something that doesn't work. If a technique or whatever you want to call it doesn't work, try something different. Right? Change the sound of it completely. But today, right now, we need more information about the truth. Most alien races are not giving us anything closely related to the word truth, meaning we've fed false, ignorant stories that have no beneficial to the human race. All the stories you heard in the UFO world for the past 35 years, 40 years, as long as you've been listening to it, what is provable in your mind and what is important? Think about it. Before you jump into saying something, think about who they are. Who are your best friend? How and why did they become your best friend? When were they your friends? All those little questions help you determine if something's real or not. And you should. Don't accept anything, not anything I say or Tina says as total truth. You need to experience it. When you do, then you'll say, this is total truth. But till then, next time, people, thank you for stopping in, listening, and watching. I try to keep it up to par. People seem to be afraid to get too involved. They'll listen. They won't write a quote, won't write something in the chat room. I'm not afraid of anything a person could write, so write whatever you want, but put something in there. If you have questions, please email us. Tina or I would be happy to reply and answer them. And we do have abilities to prove what we say. So with that, people, enjoy your day, enjoy your night, wherever you are. Stay safe. Look above all the time. You'll see a UFO. Till next time, Rev.Hawksblood here. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for in the chat room. It's been a pleasure. Text me, email me anytime. All right, people. Peace, love, compassion, whatever you need.